Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another MMA breakdown video. We're gonna make this short and sweet. Carlos Condit returns against Thiago Silva at UFC Fight Night 67, and this will be in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And do you guys think this is a great fight, a good fight, or what? Because Carlos Condit was one of the best 170 pounders until he blew his knee out. So my thing is I'm going for Carlos Condit because Thiago Silva hasn't really looked all that great and impressive in the last couple of years. But just let me know what you guys think. Will this be one of the most exciting fights of the year, or just another typical fight on a fight card that no one really cares about? It's at UFC Fight Night 67, Carlos Condit versus Thiago Silva. We know what Thiago Silva is known for. He goes out there and loves to bang and throw down. And Carlos Condit's one of those dudes who's very, very well-rounded, very good with takedowns, good with his jiu-jitsu, his stand-up, his bar none, some of the best out there. I think Carlos Condit is probably in the top 5 at 170 pounds. He kind of has a similar style to Kenny Florian back in the day. Like, he has really high-level Muay Thai and has cardio for days, and he finishes fights at 170. So, with that being said, I'm going for Carlos Condit on that fight card. And this is UFC Fight Night, Saturday, May 16th. Franki Edgar versus Urijah Faber. And to me, to be honest with you guys, Urijah Faber is one of those guys who's in the top 5 featherweight division. He hasn't fought at featherweight in a long time. He used to be fighting at bantamweight, which is, I think, 135. And he's on a 2-fight winning streak. And before that, he was on a 4-fight winning streak until he lost against Renan Barão at UFC 169. So he hasn't fought since UFC 181, December 16, 2014. And we know what Franki Edgar is capable of doing. Franki Edgar is a beast. He's has a cardio for days. These two dudes are going to be swinging for the fences. They both have cardio for days. Had very similar styles. Very great wrestlers. Very great stamina to stay in there and bang for 5 rounds. And the last time this dude lost, Franki Edgar lost at UFC 156, 2013, where he went on a 3-fight losing streak, losing twice to Benson Henderson and once to Jose Aldo. And then he's been on a tear as of late, beating Charles Oliveira, BJ Penn, and Cub Swanson. And Charles Oliveira is okay, but the BJ Penn fight looked really weird because the way BJ was fighting. BJ had no business being in that fight whatsoever. But me personally, it's going to be one of those fights that everybody is going to want to see. It's a super fight, pretty much. But I'm going to have to say Urijah Faber is going to pull this one out just by going to the judges' scorecard. I don't think no one's getting knocked out and no one's getting submitted in this fight. And this is pretty much a fight card that no one's really going to watch because it's on Fight Pass at 3 in the afternoon. So I'm not going to watch it. But it's going to be Gabriel Gonzaga versus Mirko Cro Cop. But I'm not exactly sure when the last time Mirko fought in the UFC. UFC 137 in 2011 was the last fight against Roy Nelson when he got knocked out. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak as an MMA fighter. I'm not exactly sure what his losing streak or winning streak is in kickboxing because I know he's been over there doing his kickboxing. And Gabriel Gonzaga has 2 losses in a row, and his last fight was December 13, 2014. So with that being said, these two dudes are very great, very knockout power. But Gabriel Gonzaga has submissions for days. He has knockouts, yeah. But you look at Cro Cop. Cro Cop is a great fighter, but ever since he got into the UFC, he was never the guy he ever was in Pride. He never went on like a 10-fight winning streak, head kick knocking out people. He never did. And he was never that dominating like he was over in Pride. So I'm not even going to break it down. We know what this guy is capable of doing. He's a stand-up fighter with very decent defense on the ground. But Gabriel Gonzalez will win that fight. And Mirko Cro Cop, I gotta say it, he shouldn't be fighting anymore. All he's doing is taking damage. And I know he's one of those guys who has a heart of a warrior who loves to compete and loves to throw down. But me personally, I don't see him taking a run for the title. So, as always, guys, let me know what you think of these fights coming up. And I will definitely talk to you guys in the next MMA breakdown video. Bye-bye.